This is WDG Underground Columbus, home of the unsigned artists, and this is Big C in the Morning. This is the Friday morning show that starts your Friday morning off right in your weekend early. And happy Friday, everybody. It is January 15th, 2021. It is a very cold day in Columbus. It's 37 right now. It's raining and it's snowing. But apparently we're not supposed to get a lot of snow today. Even though I walked in here and saw it snowing and then it converted back to rain. Really, you can't really decide what the weather does and thus, predict anything happening in the next 24 hours. But anyways, it is time for us to talk about our topics today, and it's another sports topic show today. I know you guys are probably annoyed about sports topics shows, but don't worry, next week I will have something different than sports. So yeah, don't worry, we will stop talking about sports topics and talk about other topics. So yeah, but for this show only, it's more sports topics. So let's start it off with our first topic today. Our first topic we're going to talk about is Ohio State and Urban Meyer. And ladies and gentlemen, Monday was a sad day for all Buckeye fans, and including me. We got smacked by Alabama, 52-24. And to be honest, this was just like when Ohio State versus Florida in the national championship 14 years ago. One of our best players got injured, and he didn't come back. And this was Trey Sermon. Trey Sermon got injured, and he didn't come back to the game. And neither did Wyatt Davis. He got injured, like in the first half, and he didn't come back. And thus, I was like, yeah, this is reminding me of 2007. I don't know why we're seeing history again. I don't like that history. So yeah, the Buckeyes gave up 52 points, and Alabama only gave up 24 points. And Alabama is once again your national champion for 2020. Nick Saban gets his 7th title, beating Paul Bear Bryant for the most national championships ever won by a coach, a head football coach. And Alabama now has 18 national championships. Oh my goodness, I am very sad. I have never been sad before in my life. I knew this was coming, but I didn't know if it was going to be close or was it going to be a blowout. And it turned out to be the worst. A blowout. Honestly, I didn't know what in the world was going on. I really wish, I really wish they were more prepared for this. And I wish, our guys weren't all that banged up by the Alabama defense and offense. Seriously. How can we not contain, their best receivers? It just makes no sense, ladies and gentlemen. I am very disappointed. I thought Ohio State would have done better, but no, they just didn't. And we got destroyed by Alabama. This was probably their payback for, us beating them in the 2015 Sugar Bowl. Which I get, but you don't have to, completely just obliterate us. And the thing is, I feel like Alabama, they're the most overhyped team in the country. Like, seriously. Alabama is just another, show-off school. You know how, Notre Dame and Michigan like to show off their national titles when they were, like, tough and cool and stuff. But then we all found out they were frauds. It's kind of like that. It's honestly like that. I think Alabama's going through like a phase saying, "Oh, we're so cool, nobody can beat us," until we find out that they're frauds. You know, frauds like the Steelers. But we'll get to the Steelers later on in the show. But yeah, Alabama thinks they're all tough and mighty, but watch and you'll see Alabama crumble in the next few years. With or without Nick Saban. It just depends on if the rest of the SEC shows up. Which the answer is no. They will not show up. And besides, it doesn't make sense how Alabama is the team of the future. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. They're not the team of the future. I'm telling you guys that. They are not the team of the future. You know who is the team of the future? Ohio State. But thank God, a lot of players from Alabama are leaving and going to the NFL. Because it makes it an easier job for the other teams to actually have a chance against Alabama. I don't know what Nick Saban does to have these players come back. But it makes no sense. It absolutely makes zero sense whatsoever. Also, I think there might be this is a conspiracy, but I'm going to say some of those players are actually ineligible. Take for example, there have been many ineligible players in football. And a lot of people try to, keep that secret. And what if those national titles are all, ineligible? What if Nick Saban actually did something to make, to win those national championships? I mean, that's just a theory I have. And this theory is because I'm a little butthurt about what happened. But it probably didn't happen, so whatever. I don't care. Still butthurt. But thus, you can't change the outcome. It's forever. So yeah. Now I gotta focus on Ohio State. What will happen to them next year? What will happen to Ohio State next year? Because here's my theory. If we lose Justin Fields to the draft, I feel like Ohio State could have a very, 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 very tough 2021 season. Because, according to our schedule, next year, if it even happens, we're supposed to play Minnesota the first game of the season. I can tell you right now, Minnesota's pretty good, but last season, what did they do last season? I know they had a few wins, but I don't know how many wins they have. Let's go here and then. Okay, so Minnesota had 3 wins, 4 losses. So, okay, Minnesota might be an easy dub, but we don't know yet. Oregon, they didn't do too good. I know they won the Pac-12 and all that. But, Oregon could be a toss-up. Tulsa, definitely a toss-up. Because, they made their conference championship. Akron is going to be an easy dub. Nebraska might be tough because they have Christian McCaffrey's brother Luke McCaffrey. Purdue might be tough. I don't know. Rutgers might be tough. Michigan State might be tough. Indiana might be tough. Maryland might be tough. Basically, every Big Ten opponent might be tough, and including some, other teams. And that's just the scary part. Like, what happens if we just completely go 0-12? Or 1-11, or 2-10? Like, seriously. And we got some comments here. Nick Miles, my buddy Nick Miles, he says, it's okay, Big C. I don't know. I don't know if it's okay. It's a pretty scary situation if you tell me. And he also says, we already got a 5-star QB that committed. Well, yeah, we do have a 5-star QB that committed. But you gotta take a look at the facts. That 5-star QB, I know he's played in a lot of high school football games, but what if he's playing in, like a full-blown primetime football game that's important, and he just does terrible? That's kind of how I feel about newcomers. Like, the newcomers, the freshmen, the incoming freshmen, they get me worried a little because you don't know what to expect from these guys. I don't know what to expect from, CJ Stroud or, Jack Miller. I know they've played, like, 1 or 2 snaps during this season. But honestly, I don't know how good they will do in front of, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of fans. Like, seriously. This is going to be a very interesting and probably heartbreaking season. If Ryan Day does not come up with a plan, like, when next season rolls around, I feel like Ohio State's not going back to the playoff for a long time. And most shockingly, we might not win the Big Ten. Excuse me. We might not win the Big Ten next year. That's what I have. That's what scares me. And honestly, I feel like Justin Fields has to come back for another year because if you saw him against Indiana, he didn't do too good. Saw against Northwestern, he didn't do too good. He had 2 bad games. And honestly, I feel like those 2 games cost him the Heisman Trophy. I feel like he should come back for another year and, improve on his, abilities and, skill and hopefully bring Ohio State back to the national championship. But that's just me. And honestly, I feel like he should come back. Like, come back and finish up your education, dude. Like, seriously, I'm beginning to sound like Woody Hayes. Like, Woody Hayes wouldn't like his players to go off to the NFL without getting them an education. That's the thing. You should always have a backup plan if football doesn't work. So, basically, you should finish up your education and then, boom, you can go to the pros. And if the pros don't work, boom, plan B. Use that diploma you got from the Ohio State University and get yourself a high-paying job in the real world. Because if the NFL doesn't work, something has to work. Like the real world. But that's just my thing. That's just my saying, my opinions, so yeah. Anyways, time to move on from, Ohio State and Alabama and all that stuff and talk about Urban Meyer. He's going pro. Even though he said, oh, I'm not returning to coaching. Oh, I'm fully retired. I will never, ever go back to coaching. And you can bet on that, kid or son or whatever. And luckily, shockingly, he went back. Basically, he lied. He lied. He lied, saying, "Oh, I'm never going back. I'm never going to coach again. You can promise me that. I can promise you that." But he didn't keep his promise. He's going to the NFL, and he's going to Jacksonville. And oh my goodness, yeah, we're just gonna confirm it. Trevor Lawrence is going to be with Urban Meyer in Jacksonville. And it's a sad day here. You know, Urban Meyer, he won us 3 Big Ten titles, a national championship, a Sugar Bowl, a Fiesta Bowl, a Cotton Bowl, and a Rose Bowl. And he decides to, say, hey, I'm going to try and win a Vince Lombardi trophy. And I'm like, Urban, you're already, college football Hall of Fame material. Don't go to the pros and embarrass yourself. You're not going to make the Pro Football Hall of Fame. You're not going to you're not going to win that much. The rules are different from college. This is a whole different ball game. What would Earl Bruce say to you right now? He would say, dude, why? Just why? Because seriously, I have a bad feeling Urban's going to do terrible in the NFL. Because if you ask me, if Urban Meyer, if he somehow manages to pull off a winning record in his first year as a head coach in the pros, I'll applaud him. I will do this. I will do this. Yeah, I applaud you, Urban. But if he doesn't, I'll be like, you should have stayed retired, man. Earned that Fox Sports money. Doing the big noon kickoff. So yeah, and unfortunately, I think Urban doesn't have to do the big noon kickoff anymore. And I also believe that, I feel like he has to step down as assistant athletic director because of that. Which I liked Urban being the assistant athletic director. Because I wanted him to be the athletic director when, Gene Smith retires. I mean, Gene Smith does a really good job, but, sometimes I think Gene Smith is loaded with cash, and he's about to retire, sometime. Because, people get old, and, you gotta have, your replacements, picked out. And I feel like Urban Meyer's a great fit. Or anybody can be a great fit. Archie Griffin could be a great fit. He could be a great athletic director if he wants to. Even Eddie George can be a great athletic director if he wants to. Basically, anybody that has gone to Ohio State and played sports for them can be a great fit. But, Urban just decides, you know what, I'm going to go pro and I'm going to win me a Vince Lombardi trophy. I'm going to beat everybody. I'm going to beat Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to beat everybody I see. Urban, this is a whole different ballgame, dude. You are going to get destroyed. You might go 0-17 your first year. And yes, I said 0-17 because I think the rule changes on how many games they're going to play. So I think it's going to go from 16 to 17 next season. So, yeah. Urban might go 0-16, 0-17, or whatever. Urban might, win 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, 4 games, 5 games. But yeah, it just depends on who in the world he drafts. Like, what does Urban Meyer do in that front office, and who does he draft? I know Urban says he always wanted to coach Trevor Lawrence, and he might get his wish. So, yeah, there's that. But what if Trevor Lawrence turns out to be a bust? What if he turns out to be a fraud? Like, everyone's saying, "Oh, he's so good. He's so good. He should be number one." What if he turns out to be a fraud in Justin Fields? If he decides to go to the NFL, what if Justin Fields does better than Trevor Lawrence? They'll be like, Urban should have drafted a Buckeye. Should have drafted an Ohio State guy. So yeah, this is a very, very interesting situation. But I want to know what you guys think. How do you think Urban's going to do? I already told you guys. He's probably going to do terrible. But you guys can leave your responses in the comments section, and I'll read them on the air. But yeah, Urban's going to be very, 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 very interesting in the NFL. But his coaching staff, he better not take anybody from Ohio State, because if he does, he's gonna make Ryan Day very, very, very. He's gonna make Ryan Day's job very tough on him. Like seriously, don't recruit any. Like seriously, Urban, don't take anybody from Ohio State. No coaches from Ohio State, dude. Because that's what Mike Vrabel did. He took Kerry Combs from Ohio State and then, just blatantly we looked a little bad sometimes since Vrabel took Coombs. And then when Kerry Coombs came back, boom, we started doing good again and stuff. I don't know. We still look normal. We still look like any good Ohio State team, so yeah. And another comment from my buddy Nick Miles, he says, I think he may do okay, maybe 5-11. It depends on the schedule. You say 5-11, I say maybe like 4-12 or 6-10. Because I just don't see, Urban doing all that good in the NFL. I just don't see him doing that good. This is different than, college football. It's NFL football. And Nick also says, I know he's going to be better than Zach Taylor. Oh, yeah, definitely better than Zach Taylor. Because if you ask me who would be winning a football game, Zach Taylor or Urban Meyer, Urban's going to win because he has, he has the coaching he has the coaching ability to coach anybody and basically make him an all-star. I mean, Urban's coached Alex Smith. He became an all-star. He's become a superstar. He's coached Tim Tebow. He became a superstar, but apparently he somehow turned to be a bust. And he's even coached Zeke Elliott, and look, he's become a superstar. But yeah. It just depends on if Urban has that ability to coach a superstar once more. It just depends. Anything can happen. Urban could turn out to be a fraud. Urban could turn out to be not a fraud. It just depends on if he understands what he's going to be entering himself into. He might have a shot. I don't know. It just depends if he just, reads over the material, studies each football team very carefully, and maybe he has a shot to, make the playoffs and possibly win a Super Bowl. I'm not saying he will, I'm saying he might. But if he wins a couple of Super Bowls, then maybe you should consider him to put him in the Hall of Fame. The Pro Football and College Football Hall of Fames. Because I would love to see Urban Meyer be in the Hall of Fame. In the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That would be crazy. Crazy good. But yeah. Urban, you do you, and Ohio State, try not to be terrible next year. Because I have a bad feeling Ohio State might do terrible, but I don't know. It just depends on how many players we lose to the draft. So, yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a break. And when we come back, the Cleveland Browns. Wow. So, yeah. We're going to talk about the Cleveland Browns and how they are wowing me and probably the rest of America. So, yeah. This is Big C in the Morning on WDG, Underground Columbus, home of the Unsigned Artist. And now here's Calvin McGriff with Determination. So, yeah. Anyways, we'll be right back.
I feel like my back is against the wall, but I will prevail, I will not fall. All the problems that bomb me down, go ahead and take the exit now. I finally found my motivation, after will and determination. Can't collapse. No, I surely can't collapse. Because of my determination, I will hold on. Dedication runs through my veins. Nothing will stand in my way. I'm tearing down the walls today. Because of my determination. Because of my determination. Because of my determination, I will hold on. Dedication runs through my veins. Nothing will stand in my way. I'm tearing down the walls today. Because of my determination. Determination.
What I liked the most here at Ohio Media School was that, I got to learn more about videography and, just more on how to work in a group culture and, business-like. And also, I would definitely say what I'm going to do after this is continue my DJ career on tour and start selling out festivals and shows and stuff like that, hopefully. But big shout out to Young Nisa here, big shout out to Jay Love, and big shout out to Nakia Booker. You guys were great. Thanks.
And we are back on WDG Underground Columbus, home of the unsigned artist, and this is Big C in the morning. And now for our second topic of the day. The second topic of today's show. Boy, those Cleveland Browns, man. What can you say about them? They're on fire. Well, just for the time being. If you don't know, the Cleveland Browns beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in the wild card round 49-37. And I think I speak for all Cleveland Browns fans when I say, wow. Just wow. Unbelievable. Because seriously, I actually doubted the Cleveland Browns that they would never win against the Steelers. But they did. They somehow they did. And now they've sent Pittsburgh packing. Ben Roethlisberger very sad. And Chase Claypool salty. Seriously. Because let me tell you something. Whoever won that game won the series in, for this season. And guess who did it? Guess who won the series this season? The Browns. We beat them 2-1. It's beautiful. We ruled the series against Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. Couldn't really do it to Baltimore, but we'll try next year. We'll try next year. And man, Nick Miles has said he just said who day. Yeah, not Cincinnati. Not they ain't who day no more. They don't deserve to have who day. And then Nick Miles says Corvette. Basically, I think that's the song Juju Smith-Schuster was dancing to. Well, now he should be dancing to nothing because he lost to the Browns. And oh boy, man, that was amazing. That's the first time I've ever seen the Browns win a very important game. Well, second time. And we beat the Steelers twice in a row. First without their starters, and then the second time with their starters. This is what we call a being too greedy. Like, seriously. Pittsburgh was, being way too greedy, and guess what it cost them? It cost them a divisional round spot. And now the Browns have a chance to go to the AFC Championship if they beat the Kansas City Chiefs, which I don't think it was happening. Because they got Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and, it's basically over. Our season's basically over because Kansas City, they're the defending Super Bowl champions. Seriously. They've won Super Bowl 44 last season. And I think we're going to get smacked by Patrick Mahomes because, as much as I want the Browns to win and go to the AFC Championship for the first time since probably 1989. Let's see if I'm right. Was the last time the Browns made the AFC Championship was 1989. So I'm looking it up. It's probably going to be close. But we'll just see. Last appearance was 1989. I was right. Oh my goodness. So yeah, the Browns' last ever appearance in the AFC title game was 1989. So basically it was well, technically 1990, but they say 1989 on this Wikipedia, but technically it was 1990, the 1990 AFC Championship. So I guess I was right. So whatever. It doesn't matter. So yeah, we've only made the AFC Conference Championship 3 times during, the merger of the American Football League and the National Football League, which just became, one big ol' NFL. So, yeah. To be honest, it feels great to be a Browns fan, but sometimes it's sad. But now it finally feels good. So, in 1986, we made the AFC title game, but lost to the Broncos. Then, in 87, we made it. So, basically, 87, we made it. 88, we made the 87 AFC title game. 88 AFC title game. 1990 AFC title game, and all those we lost to the Broncos. But thankfully, there are no Broncos here to ruin our swagger. Our cool swagger, our good old Browns swagger, because we might have a shot. But Kansas City's a pretty good team. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, I have to get hats off to Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and all the Kansas City Chiefs for winning Super Bowl 44. Not 44, but 54. But I just don't believe that the Browns have a shot to beat Kansas City. They have 0 shot to beat Kansas City. But, as much as I want them to, it's probably not going to happen. But Nick Miles, he says, do it for the AFC North and Ohio. Yes, even though I want the Browns to do it for the AFC North and Ohio, I still think they're going to lose to Kansas City. But here's the thing. If we somehow manage to beat Kansas City, we might have to go up against either the Ravens or the Bills. Which, if you ask me, I'd rather verse the Bills. Because, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the Browns, the last time they made the playoffs, well, not made the playoffs, but the last time they went to the AFC title game, the opponent they had to beat was Buffalo. And correct me if I'm wrong here, I think we're undefeated against Buffalo in the playoffs. So, if we manage to beat Buffalo in the AFC Championship, we might see the Browns in possibly the Super Bowl for the first time ever. Wouldn't that be just crazy and amazing? Like, seriously, 2020, out of all things happening, we beat the Chiefs, we beat the Bills, and we meet the winner of the NFC title game in the Super Bowl. And if you ask me, if we have to go up against Tom Brady, I will be disappointed. I will be super disappointed because if we lose to that guy and he gets his 7th title, I might have to go on a strike, on a football strike, because Tom Brady does not deserve 7 Super Bowls. And, Nick Saban doesn't deserve 7 national championships. So basically they would be, the mightiest of football people. Seriously, it's annoying. Seriously, Nick Saban and, Tom Brady winning infinite championships is annoying. Seriously. But hey, anything can happen. And besides, the Browns are getting back Denzel Ward and another defensive player from COVID, and especially their head football coach, Kevin Stefanski, who, by the way, is doing an amazing job. He should win Coach of the Year automatically because he took the Browns and got them in the playoffs. Like, gave them a whole remodel and got them in the playoffs. Seriously. He should win Coach of the Year. We went from 0-16 to 7-8-1 to 6-10 to 11-5, 12-5 if you count the playoff win. So yeah, this is pretty amazing what Kevin Stefanski has done for the Browns. And a fun fact, you know the owners of the Cleveland Browns, the Haslams, Jimmy and Dee Haslam, they own the Crew, the Columbus Crew. Like they're like part ownership of the Columbus Crew. And I think since, Columbus won the MLS Cup this year, shouldn't that mean that the Cleveland Browns might win the Super Bowl this year? You do think that's interesting. Because seriously, anything can happen, folks. Anything can happen. Seriously. The Browns might pull a rabbit out of the hat. And they just might, they might win the whole thing. And they might be, shutting down the haters. And if the Browns win the Super Bowl, I will get a Browns Super Bowl champion shirt. I might even get 2. Or 3. Or 4. Or I just might buy the whole store out. But who knows? The Browns might lose. The Browns might win. Who knows? Who knows, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Cleveland Browns. We're a mystery of a mystery. But I don't know. Anything can happen. Anything in the world can literally happen. Seriously. If you ask me, since there are 8 teams left, I might as well try and predict who's going to win this Sunday. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to predict who is going to win Sunday and Saturday, because there's a lot of football to be played on those 2 weekends. I'm going to be watching some football tomorrow and Sunday. So, yeah. So anyways, let's take a look at who's playing tomorrow. So, tomorrow, the Rams are going against the Packers. The Packers are 6.5-point favorites. I'm going to have to go with the Packers because, Aaron Rodgers throwing deep balls. And another fun fact, Aaron Rodgers is actually going to be hosting Jeopardy next week. Like Monday. So that got me started thinking maybe the Packers lose Saturday. But who knows? Anything can happen. So I'm picking the Packers. I'm picking them to win by 2 touchdowns. So by 14. And then you got the Ravens and the Bills. I'm going with Bills. Just because, I think they have a much better defense and offense than the Ravens. And they're 2.5-point favorites. I say they win by a field goal. So I'm actually going to have to go agree with that. And then you got Buccaneers and Saints. I don't want the Buccaneers to win, so I'm going with the Saints. They're 3-point favorites against the Buccaneers, Tampa Bay. I'm going to say the Saints win by 2 field goals, so 6 points. And then you got the Browns and the Chiefs. You know, I think Kansas City's going to win. I just don't see the Browns winning, even though I want them to win. So I think Kansas City is going to win 49-21. So yeah, Kansas City's going to win 49-21. And yeah, I just believe that. Also, I hate to interrupt our NFL talk, but I just got some sad breaking news. Ohio State cornerback Shaun Wade has declared for the NFL draft. Well, that was quick. He said he was going to, talk with his family and stuff because he didn't have a good performance in the national championship in basically all season. And he was going to decide if he was going to stay or go, and he just made that decision. He's going to leave. Which means, ladies and gentlemen, Ohio State might suck next season because we don't have any good cornerbacks anymore. Ah, boy. But back to NFL football talk. Yeah, I think Packers, Bills, Chiefs, and Saints win. The home field advantage sweep. So, yeah. And then, we'll just have to wait and see. Anything can happen in these AFC divisional rounds. I don't want to get my Super Bowl picks too quick. But if you ask me, I think it's going to be the Chiefs and the Packers in the Super Bowl. The rematch of the ages. Super Bowl I rematch. The rematch of the first Super Bowl. And it took us, the 55th Super Bowl to get it right. A rematch. So, yeah, it might be a rematch of Super Bowl I, people. Anything can happen. Or, the Bills might win one. They might win one. They'll be like, okay, thank you, Bills. Now, please, exit stage right. Am I doing it right? Yep. Stage right. Or is it exit stage left? I don't care. There's exits everywhere. Seriously. There are exits everywhere. But my goodness, Shaun Wade going to the NFL. Oh my goodness. Well, when one player goes to the NFL, a domino of other players go to the NFL. Basically, the domino effect. Except it's not, communism, and it's NFL football. I'm mixing history with football. You shouldn't mix history with football. It leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Like, seriously, you could get your words jumbled, like I do sometimes. Like, you can make a word out of anything. You could possibly make a word that you never ever made before. Seriously. It's weird. Don't do it. But anyways, I think it's time to end the discussion on the NFL and Cleveland. So, let's take a break, ladies and gentlemen, and when we come back, we'll end the show. So, yeah. This is Big C in the Morning on WDG Underground Columbus, home of the unsigned artist. And here's The Dog with Go and Try Me, featuring Be Calm and Nobi. So, yeah, we'll be right back. Enjoy the song.
Be calm. Hey, 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 hey. They talking real reckless. And we ain't having that. Put an end to it. Put an end to it. Yeah. Tell 'em. Work. Dog.
Heard you been talking, but ain't saying nothing. My name in your mouth, dog, like you want something. So you made a little money, now you started fronting. You done forgot who you talking to, now you straight up bugging. Hold up. Bruise or the flat line with this mistake, dog, will be a second. Better call a preacher if you want forgiveness. Cause you crossed the line when you started tripping. Got goons you don't know of, gorillas act by the time you even see them too late. Lights out. Before the goons, there was just me. Before there was a squad, there was just me. Before the fame and lights, there was just me. Don't even need a crew, I get my own hands dirty. Don't ever get it twisted, came from the streets. And if you got something to say, then say it. So you wanna be the boss, go and try me. You wanna be the man? Go and try me. Oh, you wanna take it there? Go and try me. So you think you ain't scared? Go and try me. So you wanna be the boss? Go and try me. You wanna be the man? Go and try me. So you wanna take it there? Go and try me. Oh, you think you ain't scared? Go and try me.
Be calm, it's never easy being me. When I was younger, all I knew was the streets. Hustle all day without a college degree. Now that I'm grown, I see things differently. The fundamentals of polished potential is quite simple. Just be unique, aim to reach at the crack of your peach. Life is like a peach, you can never know if it's bitter or sweet. So I keep my feet planted, me and the dog still standing, taking nothing for granted. This was never handed to me, thinking you better go and try me. Trying to copy, you just a clone. Originality is how you rise on your own. You can't with the game, you can't knock my name. We will never be the same, I'm something you can't tame. Evolution is the only time I change. Then I'ma stay the same man.
So you wanna be the boss? Go and try me. You wanna be the man? Go and try me. Oh, you wanna take it there? Go and try me. So you think you ain't scared? Go and try me. So you wanna be the boss? Try me. You wanna be the man? Go and try me. So you wanna take it there? Go and try me. Oh, you think you ain't scared? Go and try me.
God, I'm wishing there was no be who you lying if you not. Bet they Instagram your homie, put a body in the box. So he rap a little different, is he fire, is he not? It's official, they gon' get you, take a foul off the block. Okay, I'm reloaded, get the posing like we focus, get the flashing, no Adobe, get the snapping like a photo. Got the dog going local, run up on him, it's a no-go. You be crazy if you thought I was like some my kimono. Dress a little different, I impress a little different. All on my line, cause you know what she was missing. Some diamonds I ain't wearing, cause I shine without assistance. What that mean? That means I don't gotta try for your attention. Freak AD, yo, I miss you. Holla, we gon' pull up, what's the issue? I said, Freak AD, yo, I miss you. Nobi in the dog, it's official.
So you wanna be the boss? Go and try me. You wanna be the man? Go and try me. Oh, you wanna take it there? Go and try me. You ain't scared? Go and try me. So you wanna be the boss? Go and try me. You wanna be the man? Go and try me. So you wanna take it there? Go and try me. Oh, you think you ain't scared? Go and try me. Be calm in the building.
It's easy.
No be on deck.
Molly, when did you get back from Beijing? I gotta know. Ooh, Molly, are you stuck in nostalgia like me? I wanna know.
We are back on WDG. We are back on WDG Underground Columbus, home of the unsigned artists. And this is Big C in the morning. And well, we're near the end of the show, and I thought I'd leave you guys with a little fun fact. So this is another segment I came up with because I'm full of fun facts and stuff. So this is Big C's fun facts. And here's a fun fact that I learned throughout my days of, schooling and stuff. I learned that, 12 episodes in like a series of like a show, vlog, whatever, is considered to be a season. And I have done 24 shows of Big C in the Morning, and this is the second season, and the second season is about to come to an end, but season 3 is next week, because it's show number 25. It starts a whole new season, so yeah. And Imani says, yo, yo, yo. Yo, Imani, it's great to see you. Thanks for tuning into the show, even though it's about to be the end of the show, but hey, it's great to see you, and thank you for tuning in, and yeah, it's great to see you. Yeah, so basically this is the season 2 finale, but don't worry, I'm still going to be here. Season 3 is next week. Show number 25, the 25th show. I gotta think of some kind of spectacular for my 25th show. I don't know. But, you know, it's been crazy. I've been going on this show for 24 years. No, not that long. 24 shows, and, you know, just thinking. I just started back in June. Seriously, June. Like, the end of June was my first ever show. And, you know, I was still, you know, learning the basics. But now that, you know, I've fully got everything, you know, under control, it's great. And the phone's calling. I don't know who's calling, but oh boy. Well, that just happened. Somebody called me, and I don't know why. I'm scared. I think it was just a random. It might have been, you know, a telemarketer scam. Who knows? But yeah, it's been crazy. I just started this, you know, show back in June, which was like 6 months ago, and it's gotten to 24 shows throughout, you know, everything. And you know, even though it's been, you know, blocked by, you know, Adobe things, and, you know, like I wasn't able to do my shows due to Adobe things, holidays, COVID. Still, 24 shows is amazing. And I can't wait to do another 24 more shows. I think. I don't know. It depends. Like, my time on WDG ends in, like, somewhere around April. So, unfortunately, that might be like the end of, you know, it'll be the end of not the end of WDG, but Big C in the Morning. But don't worry, there'll be other great radio shows on WDG. But I'm not going anywhere until like April, because that will be like the final few shows of Big C in the Morning. But you'll always see me around, probably, you know, maybe on my Facebook, or probably on actual radio, like, seriously. I might, you know, just completely move this show to my Facebook, and if I get, like, you know, soundboards, microphones, webcams, I could actually do my show from, you know, my house and stuff. But you know, it just depends. It just depends if I have enough money for that. Or if I just, you know, get a radio show job. Which I kind of would like. I would love to get a radio show job here in Columbus. Because, you know, there are a lot of good radio stations in Columbus. And I feel like, you know, I can use my influence here to, you know, get my show out there and say, hey, let me be on air. Let me entertain the people. So, yeah. But yeah, it's been crazy. I've been doing this for 24 shows. Can't wait for number 25. So yeah, and with that, that is the end of Big C in the Morning Season 2, ladies and gentlemen. And oh my goodness, was it fun. So yeah. Next week, we are having a show. It's the start of Season 3. And, 2 new topics. We're going to talk about them. Probably going to be sports, but I'm going to try and make sure it's not sports. But, yeah. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in to Big C in the Morning. I got to get out of here. Got to go home and probably, relax and stuff. Probably play some video games, maybe. Who knows? Maybe watch a movie. Maybe. I don't know. But anyways, this has been Big C in the Morning on WDG Underground Columbus, home of the unsigned artist. My name is Big C, and I am out of here. So with that, have a good Friday, the rest of your Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good weekend. And most importantly, go Browns. Just go Browns, yeah. Anyways, I'll see y'all next week.